I know I've done you wrong, little darling. I've run around with everything in town. If you'll just tell me you'll forgive me, I'll make it up if it takes 100 years.
Welcome back to Dr. Joey's old-timey mental sciencey medicine show with snake oil lubrication sometimes. Getting into the substance of things, we've got 5 things that we're discussing. We're halfway through that now. The pre-step work that you need to do to get the mindset to get better, whether it's from recovery, from alcohol and drugs, staying away from a toxic relationship, anything like that. Who am I to be telling y'all people this? I was a successful trial lawyer for a long time. I've been a very successful entrepreneur through the years, and I've done a lot of service work and counseling work, and just like the Chinese lady said that I talked to one time, I have become an expert in law and human psychology. And what I would like to do is help you be a better person, because in doing so, it helps me to be a better person, and it continues to help me have empathy. Not only that, but it gives me a chance to exercise what I know to the benefit of my fellows. And funny enough, exercise is the topic of today. Our middle area after structured environments and long-term goals, it's exercise. Anybody coming out of the chaos and stuff like that have to struggle with these things are not usually in the best of physical health when they get there. You could even say that they're out of shape. So a daily exercise routine can definitely help you regain good physical health and can be a part of the structure of your day. It can reduce your stress and boredom as well. And if you choose to exercise outside, you'll get the added benefit of receiving a natural source of vitamin D, which can improve your overall mood levels. And if, like I was for a long time, you live in a place like Athens, Georgia, which is a college town, exercise outside will help you see lots and lots of delightful things, and meet some really cool people. But don't be creepy. Don't be creepy. That was for me, not for y'all. But look, exercise is very important. At the time I'm doing this, I'm 51 years old. I'm in fairly good shape. I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks with a spinal infection. They did a spinal tap and everything. Within a week after that, I was out with my stepson in his business, and he does a scrap metal business. And it was the middle of the day, and we were slinging like several tons of wire from this electrical utility. And it like to have knocked me down, but I did it. I did not give up, and at the end of the day, I did it, and I had the satisfaction of knowing I was in good enough shape to do that. We've all seen the people that have let their physicality deteriorate, but the human body is awesome. It will recover in time if you work at it. This is something that's interesting because after my hospital stay, I can tell my constitution had dropped maybe a level or two, a couple of points if you're a Dungeons and Dragons person. But my willpower had increased such that it would force my body to keep going right up to the point of collapse. I worked outside for about the past 7-8 months before I got back into doing litigation support, social engineering, and some of the therapy work that I do, because I wanted to work outside. I wanted to stay healthy. I did not want to lose what I had. And I looked at this hard work as being in an exercise routine. And it was great. And I felt great. I could walk a mile to the store from where I live. When I first tried it about a year and a half ago, I was all sweaty. I looked like I was about to have a heart attack because I had spent 5 years sitting behind a desk at my house, working from home. And I thought that was the bee's knees until a lovely, lovely lady wanted to give me some lovely, lovely love. And I didn't have the breath to do it, do it, do it. Everything worked except for my lungs. And I was so embarrassed. And it felt good to now be able to practically run to the store a mile away and not break into a little bit of sweat, not to have to worry about catching my breath. There's so many things that exercise will help you do. Now, with exercise programs, there's a number of things you can choose from. What I do not recommend, though, is if you have not been outside and you have not done any weightlifting or you haven't done any training, do not jump in and think you're going to be Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, or an Iron Man from the rip. I had to start with walking back and forth to the store. Eventually, I moved up. And because I did it as a portion of my time every day, I set aside like an hour or two. By the time 2 or 3 or 4 weeks went by, I didn't realize I had done as much as I did because it was a little along, but it was really, really working. Exercise. And endorphins are going. If you like to catch that runner's high, that euphoria, that sort of flood of serotonin and dopamine, running will make you do that. Straining just a little bit beyond your limits, going just a little further, is very important. But again, on hot days, don't be foolish. Don't think you're going to conquer the world. You can go online, find yourself an exercise routine that you can go with. If you're an older person, I don't recommend that you do like I do and start lifting straight heavy iron in a junkyard if you've never done that before. But Tai Chi, yoga, any sort of get you out, stretch is great. If you're a young person, be very vigorous if you can and if you can get around it. And, if you've had injuries, amputations, hurt back, and this, that, and the other, I've seen individuals that had lost a leg in the war and they were on the side of the road begging for money because they just couldn't take it. I've also seen people that have lost both legs in a wheelchair playing basketball that were in better shape than I ever could be. It's all about your mindset. And again, your mindset starts by putting yourself in a structured environment so that the chaos doesn't throw you hither, thither, and yon. Then make some long-term goals. You're going to be healthy. You're going to do an Ironman one day. I wanted to walk to the store without sweating. I wanted to be able to make lovely, lovely love for a long, long little time without sounding like I was going to have a heart attack. And I met those goals. And now I try to maintain it. I'm trying to get back to where I was because that's what works for me. I have experience in this. But it sucks. Exercise can be tough, especially if you're coming back from long-term addiction or sitting around in an office and not doing much. So this one's going to be a little bit shorter than going over with the other one. What you need to do as a part of your curriculum and your assignment is find a low-impact exercise regimen that you can engage in daily. A lot of times, if you're in recovery houses, or you're involved in an active recovery group, there will be people in there that have got a routine that you can see if you can join them. And it doesn't take a lot of money. Do not commit yourself to a gym where you're going to have to make payments and it ain't going to work. You can do everything that you could do in a gym at home or just through walking. The gym is a good place to congregate and to look at people in yoga pants. But if you're serious about it, you can do it without anything like that. I think Bruce Lee never really used anything but natural stuff to go against. A lot of the Shaolin practitioners, and some of the other esoteric martial arts, they don't use fancy weights and stuff like that. Don't buy Bowflex. That's ridiculous. It'll put you in debt, and you won't use it very long. But exercise. Exercise, exercise, exercise. Write down an exercise regimen and commit yourself to it in your structured environment for the next 30 days and see if you don't feel better. Okay? Let that be a short-term goal for you. 30 days at a structured exercise program, low impact, and see how it makes you feel. It'll work your foundations greatly. Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Joey. This is the Old Timey Mental Sciencey Medicine Show.